I put safety above all personal pursuits and work practices. When it comes to safety, I don't cut corners, I don't accept excuses, and I don't stop at good enough. Simply put, if it can't be done safely, it can't be done. I just like that, especially that last statement. So I want to just chat about this with you. Maybe this is a good place to start. If it can't be done safely, it can't be done. How many times have you seen in your career people risk, yourself included, myself included, risk too much? So anyway, thoughts on that, maybe as a starting point. Maybe it's honestly somebody listening to this, it's the first time they've heard this and they've been doing this career for 20 years. And it's the first time they've it's hitting them differently because they maybe just had a near miss or something's happened where they hear this and they go, shit, you know what? I do risk too much and maybe I don't need to. Maybe there's a different way to do this. Maybe I can look at it from a different perspective or just take a step back. And it's not pointing fingers saying that. And I certainly don't want to do that because like I said, I've been there so many times. I've taken risks in my career, still in life, that I look back the next day and go, did I really need to do that? Did I have to?
We all do make mistakes and we take shortcuts every day. And it starts before we even go to work. We're doing it on the way to work, I am not better than anybody else. So I'm not looking to stand on a soapbox, but I am thinking of more of just a culture change. What can we do to help each other out? There's a lot of stuff that gets brought up to me. I'm like, where did this happen at? Down the road. I'm like, this is the first I'm hearing of it, and it's kind of shocking when you ask what's the most important tool in the lineman's toolkit. And I said, the two-way radio, that's important. But also, if I were to amend that answer, is that hand line?
Yeah.
That gets overlooked. But I know a lot of people just out of the hydraulic bucket, they'll leave it in a bin.
Yeah.
I'll leave it in a bin. Then I got to thinking about it and I was talking all that stuff about the radio being your lifeline to get picked up by a helicopter, or I was thinking of it in that context, but in the context of the distribution guys that are doing stuff right now, leaving the ground without your hand line that can be the matter of minutes that you need.
A guy I personally know was secondary, kind of flashed up. He was just making secondary knee connections, secondary flashed up, caught the sawdust and hydraulic oil within the handle, caught that on fire, caught the bucket on fire. He had to get he climbed out onto the tell and the messenger and shimmied out mid-span where it was lowest to the ground and fucking dropped, broke both legs. Survived, thank God. Bucket burnt to a crisp, burnt and fell right off the truck. And nobody around, no hand line, fell to the ground, broke both legs. Lucky he's alive. He's all good now. But shit, man, add another 10 or 15 feet to that. It could be a totally different story. I'd been working for Quanta, but I had always been just doing the podcast on the side. But their COO, DM'd me on Instagram, Chief Operating Officer for Quanta Services, DMs me on Instagram and is like, hey, Ryan, we should talk about maybe how you can do this for Quanta. So let's get on the phone together. And I was like, wow. Okay.
When you saw that DM where you're like, oh shit, I've messed up.
Yeah. Hey Ryan, I think we should chat. And I was like, okay, what did I do now? And
great.
It was all positive. It was like, hey, we really we've been watching what you're doing. We really like what you're doing. We really like the message you're promoting. You talk about leadership, safety, and all these things we talk about, and promoting the trade. It'd be kind of cool if maybe we could do this together and help grow it. And I was like, so let's do it.
But I talked with him last night for the first time since everything's happened. And he got out of the apprenticeship and the kid sounded happy. And he sounded healthy for the first time in several years. And I think it's important for everybody to realize whether you're at whatever stage in the game, apprenticeship, lineman, you may be going through something where this particular job isn't for you, or the apprenticeship isn't for you, or where you're working isn't for you. And there's no shame. I realized this last night. If it's not for you, not for you. And it's better to be invested 100%, be excited about going and doing what you're doing with who you're doing it with, and have your head in the game, come back to safety, full loop here, than to be not in the game, not have your head in the game and be here for the wrong reasons. Make sure that you're happy where you're at. If you're not, it's okay to make a change, whatever that is. I heard you and Kane on here talking shit about people taking ice baths down in the United States. I started doing that, and there is, number one, it does help my joints feel better.
Totally.
Because I feel I have pains that I shouldn't have at 33.
I started it for a while too, bro. It's hard.
And there is nothing. It might be 106 down here, and I'm sore and hot. Like, I'm gonna take an ice bath when I get back. Like, yeah. And then I fill that fucking tub up, and put the ice in there, and just watch the temperature drop. And I'm like, I don't really want to do this, but getting in there and making yourself do something every other day that you just absolutely don't want to do, and every fiber of your body is telling you this is not right. It's like a cliche thing going around on social media right now, but man, it is true.
Yeah.
Like, it sets the pace for your mindset.
Each person is valuable in this life, no matter if you think so or not. You're valuable to somebody. And like, just even, like I said, the loss of potential. Like, you're a freaking human being. You have so much potential. You've got, like, it's a big spectrum. Like, look at a guy like Elon Musk. He's just human, and he's doing big things. And maybe he's a bad example right now, but you know what I mean? He's doing big things in the world. Pick somebody. There's that potential in each and every person. Whether you believe that yourself or not, that potential's in you. It's in your head. It's in your body. It's in you're a freaking human being like everyone else. You can bring that out. It just takes training, mindset.
There are people that are really good at this job.
Yeah.
There are people that are great linemen.
Yeah.
And then the moment that they step into a leadership capacity, or it's not for them.
Yeah.
And then there's other people that they're good at the job. Maybe they're not the fastest or most efficient, or whatever you quantify successful as a journeyman, but then they get moved into a higher up position, and then but they're really good at laying workout and planning workout, and then you're just making, the crews are making all this money because the upper levels are being run so smooth because that guy found, or that woman found their niche. And we do have a lot of potential, and it's about finding what you're good at.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that like to think they're really good at something, but like maybe this isn't like the thing that you're the best at. And I think that it's a foolish thing to waste and pigeonhole yourself into a corner of I need to be here, but give yourself some room to grow and be uncomfortable, and it might end up being like huge,
I was the shy kid in school, and I remember in grade 4, I could not introduce my teacher to my parents. I hid, like, I was so shy, timid, could not think of public speaking. Never mind be in this position I'm at today. I've run a successful podcast, spoken in front of big audiences of 300 plus people, and done okay with that. It's never something I would have done before. It's all because I continually put myself in uncomfortable situations, and I've been willing to leave something to try something new. And I don't think that adults
huge, man.
do this.
That was my next question.
I don't think adults do this in life enough. you know, as kids, you're skateboarding one week, the next week you're playing football, the next week you're trying track, the next week you're twirling shit and skill, like whatever. Like you're trying things, you pick it up, you try it, you leave it, and maybe one or two of those things stick for life and you do that thing for life. But the thing is, you try things. Now think about as an adult,
Right.
when was the last time you just like picked up a skateboard? Yeah, I've never skateboarded before. I'm gonna try skateboarding. No, but like that doesn't happen. Never mind like, oh, I'm gonna leave this job that I've spent doing for 20 years or 15 years or whatever and try something new. I'm in the same industry, but I'm doing completely different job. Like I'm basically in marketing and full-time podcasting. I'm talking on a subject I know something about, but I could start any podcast now on any subject. And I know that I have the tools to be successful in that now. Like I've continually tried something new, from line work to management to instructing to they're totally different things every time you get into something new. People need to try new things.
I got put into that general foreman spot, and it was a big bite for me to chew, and I called him a lot before he passed away unexpectedly, and it's like, man, maybe I shouldn't have done this. And he's like, why? I'm like, there's a lot to it. And he's like, so? I'm like, well, I don't really want to fuck this up, Dave, And he said, well, even if you do, you'll gain something from it, and it will only make you better for the next one. Like, that's a good way to look at it, because it takes repetition, it takes reps. You're not going to be good at it at first. Nobody really is, the perfect GF or perfect foreman or the perfect lineman. It takes time. I've never seen it where you'll be complaining about something, about, well, we got to go do this, and where everything that you're being requested to do is within reason, and people are complaining. I've never seen a foreman say, okay, you know what, you guys just don't want to do it, then fine. Like, we'll just quit, we'll go home early and we'll just say we can't do it because we didn't want to do it. Like, I've never seen that. So it's better to just say, hey, like, are we like within reason what we're being requested to do? Yes. Is it safe to do it? Yes. Okay. Is it going to suck? Yes. And acknowledging it, like, that goes a long ways too. Like, this is going to suck.
Well,
it's like, just like the ice bath, acknowledging it, like, helps you get through it. Not everybody's going to be turnkey. We need to take the time to coach each other. And just because you're a lineman and I'm a lineman, I don't have any right to expect that you would know what we're doing just because you're a lineman. Just like if I went on a trouble truck, I would get my fucking ass handed to me. Or if I went on an underground van, like I've had my ass handed to me on some underground. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, but I haven't been exposed to it. But train people up when they come to your job and get them. The only thing it's going to do is help you.
Yep.
And you're, instead of having somebody who's quote unquote a liability or, maybe not able to pull their weight, isn't it just easier to just help them for a week? And then, okay, yeah, we lost so-and-so who was a good hand. He went back home or whatever. But now we took a week and we have somebody that he's going to get to that point where he's carrying his own weight. And I know that it can be hard. That can be hard for people, but it's not my job to train a lineman. Well, it is. Yeah. That's a terrible way to look at it, because it's only going to help. It's only going to help you guys, us, especially when you're not there or they're not. We shouldn't have to be holding each other's hands, I guess, and decentralized command, as it were.
All right, guys, I hope you got some value from that episode. I know it was a little bit different than the regular interview style, but I think there was lots of great content in there. Lots of great things to learn. If I could ask you guys to do something, it would be hit that like button, hit that follow button, especially if you're watching this on YouTube. Can you make sure you're following me? Please. It means the world. Leave a comment if you'd like. It's much appreciated. I get a lot from that. I read every comment, and I can apply those to the next shows, the questions I'm asking the guests, all that good stuff. So leave a comment if you like. Thank you. Love you. Stay safe. Peace.